Today, we are diving deep into one of the most incredible sports you've ever heard of, Qhira'Vvaz. You might know it by its common name, threadball.
So let me ask you something. What if a sport was played on water, but you could never, ever touch it? Just picture it for a second, athletes who move with this just impossible grace, sprinting across platforms that are literally floating on water, all while chasing this glowing ball. We're talking about a game that is all about speed, perfect balance, and some seriously amazing aerial skill.
Okay, so the main goal, it's pretty straightforward on paper. You got to get this glowing ball, which is actually woven with something called flame thread, into a sky ring that's just hanging up there in the air. The real trick, though, the whole arena is constantly shifting under your feet. The result is just this beautiful spectacle, right? You've got these glittering wakes in the water and acrobatics that are just absolutely breathtaking. But, to really get what makes the masters of this game so good, you got to learn the language of skill. See, every single thing a player does in Qhira'Vvaz, everything, from a basic pass to a legendary finisher, can be broken down into 6 core attributes. So here they are. Every move gets a rating, 1 to 10, across these 6 stats. You've got your PWR for raw force, SPD for pure speed, and CTL for how accurate you are. Then you've got the costs, right? STA is how much stamina it drains from you, DIF is how tough it is to even pull off, and CD is the cooldown, how long you have to wait before you can do it again. Seems simple enough, but trust me, when you see how a master uses these numbers, they tell a pretty incredible story.
All right, now for the fun part. Let's see how these stats actually come together to create the signature moves that make this sport so absolutely electrifying. And these aren't just, basic techniques. No, these are like expressions of pure art and power. They're what define a player's entire style.
Okay, first up, we've got a really foundational move. This is something every single elite player has to master. It's called the Qhira'Vvaz, or the wave step dash.
And listen to that description. It's perfect, right? It just shows you the poetry of this sport. It's not just running really fast. It's more like this rhythmic dance. The player's feet just barely skim the surface of the platforms, making them almost impossible for a defender to track.
And if you look at the data, it tells the whole story. Just look at that speed rating, a perfect 10 out of 10. This move has nothing to do with power. It's all about pure explosive velocity. You use it to create space, to dodge a defender in the blink of an eye. It's all about speed.
Okay, so we've seen speed. Now let's flip to the complete opposite end of the spectrum. Let's look at a move that is all about raw power, the Qhira'Vvaz, or as most people call it, the flame thread burst.
And yeah, the stats here are just as clear, a perfect 10 for power. It is so forceful that the ball literally creates a heat shimmer when it flies through the air. But that kind of power has a price. Look at that stamina cost, a 9 out of 10. This is not a move you can just spam over and over. It's a total high-risk, high-reward play that can leave a player completely gassed.
So, we've looked at some moves, but what happens when a player comes along who doesn't just master the moves, they completely transcend them? Well, then you get a legend. And it's time to talk about the legend himself, Qhira'Vvaz. This is a player who didn't just break records, he basically rewrote what was even possible in the sport.
And this right here, this is where you see the real, tangible difference a master makes. Take the Tide Cut slide. For a normal pro, it has a 5-second cooldown, but for Qhira'Vvaz, it's just 3 seconds. Now, 2 seconds might not sound like a lot, but in a game this fast, 2 seconds is an absolute eternity. It means he's ready for the next move while his opponent is still catching their breath. And then, there's this. For his signature move, the thread snap arc, this wickedly curved shot, Qhira'Vvaz's control rating is an 11 out of 10. Yeah, you heard me right, he literally breaks the scale. It's a league record, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. So what does an 11 out of 10 in control actually get you? Well, a normal thread snap arc, it curves once, right at the end. Qhira'Vvaz, his arc curves, then it looks like it straightens out, like a fake, and then it curves again. For a goalie trying to stop that, it's an absolute geometric nightmare. There's just no way to predict it.
But here's the thing about Qhira'Vvaz. His real legacy isn't just that he mastered all the known moves. No, it's that he created a move that nobody else can even do. They call it the impossible arc.
Think about that. What kind of move is so difficult that an entire league of the world's best athletes just calls it impossible? Well, it takes a move that breaks every single rule of what you thought could be done.
And this is it.
his personal finisher, the Vaz Jarukirhor. It's not just a shot on goal, it's an event. It literally paints the air with these two streaks of color, one dark blue and one white, like fire and water crashing into each other. And get this, somehow it causes a temporary water shift, a little disruption in the water under the platforms that's just enough to throw a defender completely off balance.
Just look at these stats. They're insane. Power is an 11, control is an 11, and the difficulty, it's a 12 out of 10. The system that's designed to measure everything literally can't even quantify how hard this move is. It's in a category all by itself, completely off the charts.
And really, that says everything, doesn't it? In a sport filled with masters, he has a move that only he can do. It's the ultimate sign of just pure individual genius.
But of course, a sport this amazing doesn't just exist in a bubble, right? Qhira'Vvaz is woven deep into the fabric of its culture. I mean, it's everywhere, from the uniforms the players wear to the symbols the fans paint on their arms for the big games.
And it's these little details that really bring it all to life. The best of the best, they earn the right to wear the High Tide Elite uniform. Team captains, they get a special silver fabric tie for their belt. And everything, from the coastal calligraphy on the uniforms to those wave sigils fans wear, it's all deeply connected to the symbolism of the Araucana people.
So that kind of leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? We can put numbers on everything. We can measure power and speed and control with all this data. But what does it really mean when someone like Jaru comes along and just breaks the scale? Maybe it means that some things, true greatness, you can measure it, sure, but you can never, ever fully contain it.